How ancient Egyptian gambled. In a land of golden sands and rising suns, where the Nile carved life into the desert, people worked, worshipped, and wagered. Gambling, games of chance. The thrill of winning, the sting of losing. Long before the clink of casino chips or the shuffle of playing cards, the ancient Egyptians rolled, tossed, bet, and strategized. Tonight, we travel back over 4,000 years to uncover the hidden world of Egyptian gambling. From sacred board games placed in tombs, to rowdy street games played for beer and bread. This is the story of how the people who built the pyramids played, and how the gods themselves joined the game. Cut to drums, desert. Why ancient Egypt loved game. To the Egyptians, life was a journey balanced between order, ma'at, and chaos. Games, especially games of chance, were not considered meaningless. They were tools to understand fate. A good throw, a sign of divine favor. A bad one, perhaps a warning. Egyptians believed that the gods controlled destiny. Therefore, every roll of a stick, every toss of a knucklebone, was a dialogue with the divine. Cut to reenactment of a family gathered around a board game at dusk. The origins of gambling in Egyptians. Evidence of Egyptian gaming goes back to the pre-dynastic period, before the unification of Upper and Lower Egypt. Carved bones, stones, and primitive dice show that even the earliest communities enjoyed games of chance. As society evolved, so did the games. By the time pyramids rose on the Giza Plateau, gaming was woven into everyday life, in homes, in the marketplace, in temples, and even in tombs. 3. The superstar game Senet. Camera pans to a beautifully carved Senet board. Senet, the ancient game of passing. Egypt's most iconic board game. More than 70 boards have been discovered, from simple wooden ones to lavish inlaid masterpieces fit for pharaohs. In Senet, moves were determined by casting sticks that landed with a flat or curved side facing upward. This transformed every turn into a moment of suspense. One throw could save you, one throw could doom you. Symbolism of the afterlife. Senet wasn't just a game, it was a journey. Egyptians believed the board represented the passage of the soul through the afterlife. Each square had meaning: shelter, danger, blessing, trial. Winning was symbolic, a safe arrival into eternal life. This is why Senet appears in the tombs of Tutankhamun, Seti I, and Nefertari. To them, the game continued in eternity. Street gambling, the real Egypt. Switch tone, lively, bustling market sounds. But gambling wasn't just a pastime of royalty. The streets of ancient cities like Memphis and Thebes buzzed with games. People gambled on anything: food, beer, linen, animals, jewelry, even chores. Lose a round, you might be weaving baskets all day. Archaeologists also found inscriptions warning against losing oneself in dice, suggesting that problem gambling was, apparently, not a modern invention. The game of hounds and jackals. Around 4,000 years ago, another game swept across Egypt: hounds and jackals. Simple rules: race your pieces from the bottom of the board to the top. Fast, competitive, addictive. Perfect for high-stake gambling. I wager these dates. I raise you a silver ring. Pieces move quickly. Someone wins. The trader groans, the others laugh. This game spread far beyond Egypt, to Mesopotamia, Nubia, and even the Mediterranean. Proof of Egypt's cultural influence and people's love of chance. Children, women, and gambling. Unlike many ancient cultures, Egypt did not restrict games to men. Women played senet, and some boards found in female tombs were beautifully decorated. Children practiced with pebbles and knucklebones, learning counting, motor skills, and maybe a bit of luck. Light, family-friendly music. Gambling with the gods. The gods themselves, the Egyptians believed, enjoyed games. Illustration of Thoth and the moon goddess. In one tale, Thoth gambled with the moon goddess and won extra days, which he used to create the 365-day calendar. Cut to scenes of temple priests casting lots. Priests sometimes used casting sticks to interpret omens. Chance to them was divine communication. Laws, morals, and troubles. Officially, gambling wasn't encouraged. Some writings warn about becoming a man of dice, someone who wastes time and loses reputation. Scene of a scribe narrating warnings. But, despite warnings, people kept playing. Human nature rarely changes. Discovery and archaeology. Modern archaeologists piece this world together from tomb paintings, discarded dice, carved boards, and written records. Camera zooms on. a Senet board from Tutankhamun's tomb, dog-headed pegs, bone dice, game graffiti carved into stone steps. These artifacts reveal a playful, competitive, very human side of Egyptian life, a side history often overlooks. From mighty pharaohs to humble farmers, Egyptians gambled for joy, pride, treasure, and destiny. Their games echoed their beliefs in fate, in balance, in the journey of life and death. Cut between pyramids, Nile at sunset, stars emerging. So the next time you roll a die or play a game of chance, remember this. You're taking part in a tradition that stretched along the Nile thousands of years before cards, casinos, or lotteries. A tradition that entertained, challenged, and inspired one of the world's greatest civilizations. The games of the Nile live on.